huge manipulation is happening with Bitcoin. At least that's what a lot of people think. I've gotten a lot of messages and a lot of comments on some of my last videos talking about the manipulation that's happening. I want to cover that. I also want to talk about some of the other big news in the market because there is actually a lot of news right now. If you don't mind, hit subscribe, turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this. There's also a massive airdrop on Margex right now. So if you sign up with the link underneath the video, you can start earning up to $5,000 in BOEM. It all depends on how much you trade. And if you already have an account, you can just hit participate here and you'll be able to start trading on Margex and get access to that airdrop. They allow you to trade all different kinds of cryptos as well with all different forms of collateral. So if you don't mind, definitely check that out. Now, Bitcoin has attempted to break 71.6 several times here today. Okay. It seems like we keep getting rejected right around this level, 71.6 to 71.8. I would love to see a move above that. A lot of people are thinking there's manipulation happening right now, which we'll talk about here in a second, but let's cover some of the other news that's happening right now. So Kraken said to be in talks with pre-IPO fundraising round, or for a pre-IPO fundraising round. This is interesting. This is what happened last cycle with Coinbase. Keep in mind that it sounds like this probably is still a while away. If they're talking about a fundraising round now, and there's just talking about it, we're talking about probably 4, 5, 6, 7 months away for some kind of IPO. Now, some people might say that marks kind of like the top of the market. Maybe. But if we're talking about 6 months from now, that is in the winter, that is towards when we think the market will really be heating up. Like that will be when Bitcoin's probably well over 100,000 in a lot of people's minds. And that would be a time where you probably want to go public if you want to go public at some point. We also know that Bitstamp just sold for $200 million. So there are a lot of people looking to start raising money or start selling their businesses now, moving into this next bull run, especially seeing some of the numbers on the back end. Like a lot of exchanges are starting to make a lot of money. They went from maybe unprofitable or just barely scraping by in the bear market to now super profitable companies. I actually have to talk about one this weekend because it's grown like crazy. I think it's undervalued too. So I was doing some research on it. Be on the lookout for that. It's coming out Sunday. I think I'll make that video. But yeah, there are just a lot of companies that are undervalued right now, or they're growing like crazy and they seem undervalued because the multiples are insane because they've been growing so quickly. So yeah, I think it makes sense for them to start raising capital, and it just shows there is a lot more money flowing back into crypto. It's not just going into the coins, but it's also going into the businesses. BlackRock bought 6,367 Bitcoin in the last 48 hours. It's insane. It is insane how much these ETFs are buying. And, sometimes I get a hard time because I like saying that, 48 hours or 24 hours before insanity or something like that. And it's true because these numbers are insane. Like 24 hours from now, the market's closed for the week. Who knows how much Bitcoin could be bought in the next 24 hours? It could be $1.3 billion worth of Bitcoin bought up by ETFs. That's what we've seen in the last 48 hours. So yeah, it is interesting to see these big institutions come into the market. Wall Street Journal is also releasing videos explaining Bitcoin and the crypto bull run and explaining what happened in the bear market, why the price is going up now. This is a 5.5 minute video. So things are changing. Like Bitcoin is going more mainstream. The big institutions that are SEC approved, that are government approved, are now buying Bitcoin. So it's basically giving the rubber stamp to Bitcoin that this is an institutional asset. We know this, but it's so different than 2021 where we hit all-time highs, but it was like, it's kind of sketchy, right? Like there were a lot of companies that kind of grew from nothing and people thought, wow, these are really good companies. They just started making a ton of money. These must be some of the best businessmen and businesswomen of all time to be able to grow revenue by 1,000% or 10,000% in a year or two. But it was a bit of a house of cards compared to now where It's easy. It's super easy to get to 70,000 when you have all these big entities buying and everything's super solid. Now, this leads some people to think that maybe there's some manipulation going on, okay? Some people think, well, if institutions are buying an insane amount, $1.3 billion worth of Bitcoin over the last 24 hours, how are we not higher? How are we not higher, okay? Like, we should be at all-time highs. We should be at 80K, 100K. Altcoins should be running. Keep in mind, there could be some manipulation. Like I said, I've seen a lot of comments talking about manipulation, people holding Bitcoin's price down, and we have seen that in the past. Keep in mind, it's not like Bitcoin's been stuck at 70,000 for the entire year. If you go a year back, we're up 160%. But yeah, there might be a little bit of manipulation, right? There's always manipulation happening with contracts expiring, with options expiring, with stop losses, with liquidations, right? A lot of the time, large entities want to try to burn as many people as possible, or liquidate a lot of long, so that way they can go they can short and make money, and they can buy back in at a cheaper price. Funding rates have been going up slightly as well, so you have to take that into consideration. There's always manipulation going on. I kind of think about it as this is very healthy. Like, if we just zoom out, the fact that we've gone sideways for a couple months is healthy. I think that's actually good for crypto. I think it's good for prices long term if we go sideways, because we went up very quickly and then we've been going sideways here. Keep in mind too, while there can be manipulation, there's manipulation in all markets. It's not specific to crypto, right? Whenever you have buyers, you have sellers. So if the ETFs are buying $1.3 billion worth of Bitcoin, they're buying it from someone or something, some company out there that's willing to sell. It's just a question of how much does the seller want to make? Like, are they selling at 70,000 and they're willing to give up all their money or all their Bitcoin to get the money? Or are they saying, I don't mind waiting. I'll sell at a little higher price. And then the institutions have to come in and say, okay, well, we'll buy it for 72,500 or something, which it's not even like they negotiate. They get paid to buy Bitcoin and they go buy it at that price. So it's just really coming down to the sellers. How many sellers are there? Because we know there's a lot of buyers. So yeah, there might be a little bit of price manipulation, but I see it kind of like a ball underwater, like a inflatable ball. You can hold it down, but eventually it will pop back up. So I am expecting some kind of big move. I think that's coming. And if not, well, then you get Bitcoin at a cheaper price for a little bit longer. Something that's crazy that's going on right now. Roaring Kitty scheduled a live stream for June 7. It's 21 hours from now, and he has over 13,000 people waiting. Let me just reload this to see if it changes. 13,000 people waiting. 13,000 people have liked this. Okay, so this is probably already gotten, like, based on normal views, probably already 60, 70,000 views, maybe more. And yeah, the chat's going insane. This is 21 hours from now. I've never seen something like this with so many people interested. GME was halted earlier. It's up 30% right now. Supposedly, he has not sold his $20 calls for June 21st. This means that he's up now 341%, making his options worth $301 million from only $68 million. His shares are worth $200 million. Okay, this guy's crushing it. Now, I don't think he could have, I don't know, but I think it would have gone a little bit dicey if he had sold his $20 calls and made, $250 million. I know people are looking into him, their investigations. Better just to hold these and then convert them into shares maybe than to sell right now, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he will sell. We'll have to see what he says on this live stream. I would not be surprised if this is the most watched live stream maybe ever for finance, maybe just in the last couple of years since last time. But I mean, there are a lot more people watching him. Let me even hit subscribe. There are a lot more people watching him now than a couple of years ago because of the Netflix documentary. And something really interesting. Tesla is offering 36-month loans of 1.99% APR on all new Model 3 rear-wheel drives and long-range finance orders in the US. This is down from 6.4%. They're also offering 4.99% for 48 and 60-month finance terms. Okay, this is for the next 10 days. This is pretty cool. I have a Model 3 Performance. I love it. And the new model is even better than mine. It's cheaper, it's faster, it's quieter, it's got cool lighting inside. I like Teslas, but I also think they're some of the best cars out there. Like, even if you go and you just charge up and you don't have a home charger or anything like that, you go charge at superchargers. Usually it's really quick, and it's about the same cost as gas. If you go to superchargers at home, it's a lot cheaper, but you do have to set up a charger. If you're thinking about this, I think it's the safest car out there. I think it actually is really nice too because it has the auto steer for free. Maybe this is the time to get it because it is pretty cheap. They're doing tax incentives too, the tax credit. I'm treating my Tesla, and I'm a car guy. I like cars. I want the Cybertruck bad, but I'm not sure I'm going to get one because I kind of would like to drive my Model 3 until it's like done, like 250,000, 300,000 miles. I've literally done zero maintenance, except for I've changed the tires now that I've driven it. I've had a couple tires pop, and I've driven it 30,000 miles. Literally the only thing I've had to do is the tires, and then I put in some windshield wiper fluid. And these have come down a lot since I bought them. And they're better, and they're faster, and they're cheaper, and they're quieter. Like, these are just awesome cars. So yeah, I mean, if you're thinking about buying one too, I think this is probably pretty much the bottom of the car market. Of course, they're going to continue to lower them over time, but they won't have the big drops like they had back in 2022 and 2023 because, yeah, they've just come down a lot because of the increasing interest rate environment. But I think interest rates are trending sideways now and eventually will trend down. We've seen that with Bank of Canada and what is that? Over in the UK or in Europe, the ECB, they've started lowering rates as well too. A little bit redundant there, but they've been lowering rates as well. Now, let me know your thoughts on all this. Let me know if you have a Tesla or if you're considering buying a Tesla. Again, I think these rates are kind of nuts and make them pretty attractive. If I was buying one now, I would not pay cash for it. I'd just get one of these 2% interest rates. It has nothing to do with your income either, unlike some of the tax credits. So, yeah, I mean, you can get like a rear-wheel drive Tesla for $34K, brand new. That's pretty cool. That's with the tax credit. That's a point of sale as well. So, I think you get that, like I said, right when you buy the Tesla. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Let me know if you think Bitcoin's price is being manipulated. And if you do want to trade crypto, use Margex. You can get this $5,000 in BOEM, depending, again, on your trading volume. But definitely check that out underneath the video. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I will see you in the next video. Bye.